and welcome to Science Time with Miss Victoria. This program is recommended for ages 6 and up, but as always depends on the science and STEM experiment that we were going to be doing today. So let's get straight to it. I hope you're ready for this because it's just new for Miss Victoria doing. Now, before we even you find out what is new for me, we have to wash our hands for at least 20 seconds. So go to our YouTube channel if you're already subscribed, or Facebook, look at the video where I wash my hands. And remember, you can do it slow and then fast. You're going to be saying it to the rhyme Farajaka. You can do top and bottom. Okay, remember the next step is in between, and the last is to rub them all together. So you can start off slow, repeat it fast, or start off fast and then repeat it slow. Either way, it comes out to 20-25 seconds. Once your hands are nice and dry, move on to the next step is to gather supplies. You probably see what I have on the table, but I haven't told you what we're doing, so let's skip that step for right now. Last thing is to have adult supervision just in case. Doesn't hurt to have them help you with the supplies, gathering them, doing the steps as well, you executing the experiment, and of course just being present. It's nice to have your parent with you when you're doing these experiments. So let's go ahead and move on to find out what we're doing and what supplies we're going to need. Okay, we are going to be gathering supplies for density jars. Okay, so this one's really quick. It's fun. You don't need that many supplies. One thing you need is 2 mason jars. I'm using these small ones, small glass ones. Now, they do have the same size plastic. That might be a safer bet. If you have 2 plastic containers, you can try that option as well, but mason jars is a little better. So on this one, you might want your parent definitely with you if you're using the glass mason jars. You're gonna need water. You're gonna need hot water, and you're gonna need, I put cold, or it could be just room temperature, because the next item you're gonna need is ice cubes, and that'll make the water cold. So you can hold off on getting cold water, just the ice cubes. Next thing you're gonna need is index card. You can have index card. You want to just test it to make sure it covers your container, the rim. Or also, I just had some cardstock paper that I just cut into squares, so that'll cover as well. And of course, as always, food coloring is optional. In this case, I will be using it, and you'll see why. So let's jump right into it so you can find exactly what we're doing. So here are the steps. Alright, so first thing you're going to do is you're going to fill a jar with the cold water, which in this case is, I'm just going to do some regular water. And this time I am going to pretty much get it close to the rim. Lucky I had enough water in my water bottle there. Now, like I said, you can use ice cubes. I'm just going to put a couple in there just to get it cold. Now, if you notice, I have it in a container, at least the lid, because if I put it in, the weight of the ice is going to spill over because the water is going to come out. So it's on the container, so we're safe. Now, I'm going to go ahead and add my food coloring because you're going to add at least 2 drops. Now, for the cold, I'm going to add yellow for it. Okay? You want to pick colors for this experiment that's going to mix. So I'm going to be using red and yellow because it makes a different color when you mix them. You can do blue and green. Of course, you can do different combinations that that 2 colors that make a different one. You can do. I'm going to go ahead and do my 2 drops of yellow. And I did 2 because if you do so many of it, it might get too dark. So I'm just going to do 2 drops. I'm just going to use this to stir it a little bit. It's going to spill because I did do it to the top. Now, if you want to avoid spillage, what you can do is go ahead and put the ice cubes first and then pour the water in. And that might work as well. So we're going to set that, we're going to have that here. I'm not going to mess with it too much. Now, in the other jar, you're going to repeat the same thing, but you're going to have hot water. Now, parents, make sure the water, when it's hot, when you have it in the sink, it's going to be steaming. You can also microwave it because you want it hot, but you don't want it too hot to where you can't handle the jar. You want to be able to touch it as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to move it in front. Now this one I might not fill it all the way to the top. I might give myself a little space there. And now we're going to add 2 red food coloring drops. Now the reason I said this is new for Miss Victoria, and parents, this next step you're going to have to help your child, definitely, because this is like a juggling act. Because what you're going to have to do now is you're going to place an index card or like the paper, you're going to cover it and we're going to seal it. What's going to happen is we're going to do juggling. I'm going to flip it over, okay? Now if you want to make sure and you don't want it soaking through, you can just, like I did on this one, just use regular tape. You can just tape over it, just kind of almost like it's laminated. You just want the protector cover, you can do that. But I like to live a little dangerously, you know how Miss Victoria is, so I'm just going to do the paper. Now you have 2 options. You can add the hot water at the bottom, and then you can flip the cold. That's one way, because remember, hot water or hot, because density-wise, the molecules are faster when it's hot. They're moving a whole bunch. Cold, they're kind of going slow. They're not moving as much. So what will happen, the hot water will go up. It's going to rise. You can do the opposite and the hot water up. What's going to happen is they're going to be separate because cold water stays at the bottom. So we're going to do it a little different. I've tried this already and I had the hot water on top. I'm going to change it up and I'm going to do the hot water at the bottom. Let's see if this works in Miss Victoria. Okay, so carefully flip. Here I have hot jar, but we're changing it. I'm going to flip the cold one instead. So that's why I have parents and asterisks. We want the parents to do this part. Okay, so we're going to hold it there to make a seal. Hopefully this works. It's okay. That's why you want to over a container, because if it spills, that's fine. Whoop. That's why we do the container. It's going to spill. Now you want to get as close to the rim as possible. And what you're going to do, I'm going to try to make sure it's over the rim, over each other, is you're going to take away the index card. That was dangerous, and this is why you have to make sure it's on a lid, because you're going to spill. Now, if you notice, I did it with just the card, no laminating, nothing. Now, you have to be careful because it's going to absorb, like I said. So you might want to try this experiment probably with some tape over it, so it might be a little easier to slip it out. Okay, parents? But, you know, when it comes to science, it's fun when you have spillage. Now, if you notice, we had the hot at the bottom. It went up right away. So all the yellow went down, so now red and yellow makes orange. So now our colors are mixed and they're gonna stay like this. You can try the experiment, and maybe I'm gonna go ahead and show you a close-up shot, so I might do it the opposite, which will probably follow this a little more, and I'll flip the hot, and you'll see the colors are gonna stay red and yellow. The yellow's the cold, so you're gonna have that at the bottom. And then in the middle, you'll see the orange mixed together. I'll try that on the close-up shot, but this is fun. Exactly, watch what happens. And as you can see, yeah, you watched it, and you're gonna spill. It's kind of hard because, like I said, this absorbed. So it did get stuck, and I was able to flip it. But once you have to kind of gauge, and your child might help you by telling you where to make sure it lines up. And when you pull it out, they can help pull it out, but parents, you might want to be the one maybe holding it, and then they can pull the card out. So I strongly recommend tape it, so maybe it might be a little smoother coming out. All right, I hope you enjoy it. It's very fun, quick, and the kids get to learn about density, how hot molecules are faster and the cold molecules are slow. And it works even better when you involve colors, because you get a mix of different color options. So you might want to try, I think red and blue make purple. You can do blue and green makes, I want to say yellow. I forget the color on that one, to be honest. But there's a lot of mixtures. You know, if you like Miss Victoria, you might want to go and Google it and say mixing colors. And you can try different options as well. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to our library resources. Okay, so the ones over here that I have on, look where the blue background, these books you can find on our website, cctexas.com/library. Go to library catalog, just type in basic search, science experiments or STEM experiments. You can also advanced search if you want and be specific, saying children's, if you want to be where you want to find the items, or edible science, chemical ones. You'll be able to find it specific in advanced search. Also over here on the brown background, we have our online digital resources, Access 360 and Hoopla. Now these, if you don't have it already and your smart device, you might want to go to your app store and download these two. If you're using a computer, just go to our website and you can also register that way. If you need help registering, by all means, call any of the branches and we can help you on the registration process. Here are a couple of science ones you can find. On this one, you can put it as a wish list, you can place on hold, and then of course, as always, just download it, check it out and download it. Hoopla, you can probably go ahead and put it as a favorites, and then go back and either borrow it already and download it, or you can just place it on hold as well. If it's checked out, you're gonna have to place them on hold. All right, let's go ahead, and as always, I want you all to remember to go to our Facebook page and YouTube channel, Corpus Christi Public Libraries. If you haven't already, like the Facebook page, and of course subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can do that when you go to our website, cctexas.com/library, click virtual programs, and it'll give you a breakdown of all the programs the branches are doing. Click on any of those links and it'll send you to YouTube so you can be able to subscribe. And you can also go to the Facebook and of course like it. You can see the videos on Facebook. If you need help finding science and STEM experiment books, because the kids loved it so much and they want to know more about density maybe, you can try our new browsing options, new book alerts, author check, and of course book newsletter. That might help you when you're searching through our catalog. And as always, do not forget our online digital resources, Access 360 and Hoopla. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye.